Hey everybody, welcome back to We Are the Batman. So we are coming to you guys today because today sucks, plain and simple. We had put out another episode for this weekend. We decided to pull it down when the news broke and was confirmed that um, the man himself, Kevin Conroy, voice of the Batman for decades, has passed away at the age of 66. And
Yeah.
uh, this just sucks. I'm legitimately not okay.
It's not a easy thing, especially in my opinion. It wasn't like this isn't Stan Lee, who's in his late 90s, or some of these other guys who are well into their 80s or whatever, where you're like, okay, cool, full long life. But Kevin Conroy was only 66. He has been Batman within the last year or two for Justice League Action. It's not this weird, like, oh, we haven't heard from him in decades, suddenly he's gone. He's gone. This is He's been active. It's kind of out of the blue, completely out of left field, that it wasn't even on my radar that he was of the age that I should be worried about this kind of thing, because Batman is eternal.
It's one of those, and it's crazy that we're talking about this. Yeah, he was 66. He was 3 weeks from his 67th birthday. Um, and it's strange to me that we're talking about this because the current belief is that that rumors were that he had had cancer, um, that only his husband and family knew about. Which the reason I bring that up is because I just saw, recording this on Friday when this happened. I just saw Black Panther: Wakanda Forever yesterday,
Okay.
and
Okay.
the whole thing about that is that Chadwick Boseman just up and died from cancer that only his family and his family knew about. And it's insane to me that on the cusp of seeing this film that was a tribute to Chadwick Boseman, who died under whose death was under similar circumstances, that this happens today. And it's such a gut punch because, as like I put on Twitter, like Kevin Conroy's Batman is the reason this podcast exists. It's the reason that
Yeah.
I'm a Batman fan. Like, he was my Batman. My introduction to Batman was the animated series in the 90s. So this hurts.
Well, and this is also one of those rare may be the wrong way to say it, but I'm gonna say rare because that's how the mood I'm in is, like, watching him in interviews, listening to him on podcasts. Like, he was also just a good dude, a great man. I don't know. I know you're not the biggest fan of Michael Rosenbaum's podcast, but he was on there, and just some of the stories he's telling, and how open he was with his own life and his own dealing with the death of his father, and things of that nature, where, like, it just kind of just like just a guy you want in your corner, you know what I mean? And that always makes it a little more like, not only is he our hero, as a superhero, as a character, as Batman, but just as a man, as a person, he's a kind of a hero for me in that way, because I've followed him a lot. And anytime there's an interview or anything, I'm like, no, I got to catch that. That's Kevin Conroy. It's just exciting, and that voice itself is just rich to listen to, no matter what he's talking about.
Yeah, I've watched, even prior to today. I've watched so many interviews with him over the years, talking about Batman and other work he's done. Um, Whether it's like the behind the scenes documentaries about the show, or from when they were doing Return of the Joker for Batman Beyond. When we were talking about pitching our Batman Beyond movies, I had suggested having him be the live action old man Bruce Wayne.
Yeah.
Um, and and also, just he was just such a fan of this property. He got to be a part of the DC Comics 2022 Pride anthology, which was DC Pride was a special LGBTQ plus anthology they started in 2021, and he actually wrote a segment of the 2022 version called Finding Batman, which was an autobiographical story about where he described his how his portrayal of Batman drew from some of the more painful experiences he had uh, coming up as an openly gay man, and for someone to put that much of their real life pain into a
Yeah.
character that was so damaged on its own is, um, I mean, it's just it's awe inspiring.
Yeah. It's not, yeah, just one of my favorite stories, or yeah, one of my favorite stories is him talking about being there at 9/11, helping to
Oh
feed
my god!
the the workers there, and that somebody figured out who he was, and that he did the whole, I am the night, I am vengeance, I am the night, I am Batman, and like the entire place went nuts.
After the attacks on 9/11, we'd be getting all these, hundreds of meals ready. And this one guy, in the middle of the night, like 3 nights into this, he goes, "So, my day job is I'm an architect." He says, "What's your day job?" I said, "Well, I do voices mostly." He went, "I knew it!" He said, "You're the guy who does Batman. You're that Kevin Conroy." So he goes into this dining hall. And this is, the first week after the attack, and there had been like just this somber sadness. And you hear him go, "Guys, guys, you're not gonna believe who's been cooking your dinners. It's Batman." There's this long silence, and you hear, "Bullshit," from the back of the place. And he said, then someone else says, "Make him prove it." So I thought, oh, this is good. So I'm in the back kitchen, and I do from the back kitchen, "I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman." There's this long pause, and then you hear from the back of the place, "Holy that is Batman." And suddenly people were laughing. And the architect who had recognized me said, "What's it feel like to be Santa Claus?" I said, "Because that's what just happened here."
I remember a few years ago when BVS was coming out, Kevin Conroy and Tim Daly, who was the voice of Superman in like everything, um, did this funny thing where they reenacted the uh, the dialogue from The Dark Knight Returns, where Batman does the whole like, remember I'm the one man that beat you.
Yeah, that was on that Daily Show that Tim Daly and his son were doing, right?
Yeah, yeah, it was great. And they reenacted the whole thing, and it was a lot of fun to hear that dialogue done by the voice of Batman.
I want you to remember, Tim Daly, in all your years to come, in all your private moments, my hand at your throat. I want you to remember the one man who beat you.
I decided recently I was going to go back and replay all the Arkham video games on Twitch, streaming on Twitch again. And I just
Those tweets make a lot more sense now. Okay.
Yeah, they do. um, but I just finished Arkham Origin. I'm going in chronological order. I just finished Arkham Origins yesterday, which means now I get to start on Arkham Asylum, which is the first one with Kevin Conroy.
Yeah.
So it's great that next week when I'm streaming, I can uh, I get to live in the world of him voicing Batman for a while on Twitch. I mean, and to give you guys an idea of what my job is like all day today, once I heard this news on my laptop at work, I had just the animated series just playing on a loop on HBO Max while I was working today.
Yeah.
Uh, Sorry, boss, if you're listening, but that's what I did today.
Well, and I was talking to a friend of mine about it because he woke up to the news, and I was like, yeah, I just, I think I texted you last night as I was watching that Justice League episode. What's it called? Enemy Down Below.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah.
And I think I said the message like, I have no memory of that episode. I don't think I've ever seen it.
Oh, it's
So it was fun. It was great. It was solid. I really enjoyed it.
yeah.
And but yeah, just of course, to hear his voice in that, and it was gonna be, dude. He's so good as Batman. So good as Batman.
I think what I'm gonna do tonight, while I'm eating dinner is I'm going to throw Mask of the Phantasm back on because I keep seeing on Twitter right now circulating is the clip from Mask of the Phantasm where it's young Bruce Wayne
Yes.
at his parents' grave. Like, he's like, the whole I didn't count on being happy.
It doesn't mean I don't care anymore. I don't want to let you down, honest, but it just doesn't hurt so bad anymore. You can understand that, can't you? Look, I can give money to the city. They can hire more cops. Let someone else take the risk. But it's different now. Please. I need it to be different now. I know I made a promise, but I didn't see this coming. I didn't count on being happy. Please, tell me that it's okay.
And I mean, I've watched that scene a million times, and it gives me chills every time. And I'm a little worried about watching it right now. It's like, oh, this is gonna make me cry.
Yeah.
Because as I was scrolling through YouTube today, watching clips, I came across the clip from Justice League Unlimited when Batman has to sing the blues song,
Mm-hmm.
Free Wonder Woman, and I'm just like, oh.
Am I blue? Am I blue? Ain't these tears in my eyes telling you? Am I blue? You'd be too if each plan that you had done fell through. There was a time I was your only one, but now I'm the sad and lonely one.
Beautiful. And you'll keep your part of the bargain? A deal's a deal. He can stop now. Not on your life.
I should say.
Which I then found out there's actually a like full studio recorded version, not just a clip from the show of Kevin Conroy. Because a lot of people don't know about Kevin Conroy is he was a Juilliard educated actor whose roommate at Juilliard was Robin Williams.
Yeah, Robin Williams, yeah.
I mean, like he wasn't just a voice actor who was the voice of Batman. Kevin Conroy was an actor. He was a damn fine actor.
Yeah, tons of theater, tons of stage, which is why he was one of the last people to get called to audition for Batman, because he was not even in the, because usually they go for voice actors, then stars, TV actor, they go through the whole thing, and he wasn't. It was just like a random by chance that somebody suggested him, and he just happened to be in LA or something like that, and was like, yeah, I'm here anyway, I'll go and audition. And then of course got the part. So,
well, it's to your point. I mean, they were looking at originally they had cast Tim Curry to be the Joker because they wanted star power behind it. And we've talked about this on the show before. We just talked about it recently where they had a lot of faith and belief in this show, and they wanted to make sure it has as much power behind it as possible. And actually, just recently, some of the audio of Tim Curry's version of the Joker got released, and it's a thing, but. I'm glad that they found Mark. They went to Mark Hamill because Mark Hamill even said in an interview in Time, he's like, whenever they ask me to voice the Joker, my first question is always, is Kevin doing Batman? Because if Kevin's doing Batman, I don't need to see a script. I'm in if Kevin's in.
And I had my favorite Batman, Kevin Conroy.
I am Batman!
When they offer me roles now, I said, is Kevin doing it? They said, yeah, he's in. I go, oh, then I'm in. I don't even have to read the script. If Kevin's doing it, I'll do it.
They were the closest of friends. I mean, two men who loved each other, and Twitter today has been a flurry of tweets. Paul Dini didn't even say anything, just posted the image of Batman from Mask of the Phantasm with the spotlight in the background. Tara Strong, Gray
Delisle.
Thank you. It's posted. I mean, everyone has been posting about it. And Mark
Yeah.
Hamill himself posted something nice about it. It's just DC Animated. Their Twitter currently just says the word devastated. That's it.
Yeah.
Because
I think
what else can
Rosenbaum
you
put
say?
stuff up. Rosenbaum put stuff up. Jim Lee
Yeah,
put stuff up. I mean, just everybody across the board because, yeah, he's just, no offense to some of these other guys who have had a good run with Batman, but it's just something different about what he's doing.
yeah. I'm looking at Great Delisle's tweet right now, who is the voice of Catwoman, who said, "My baddie is gone. One of the
Mm,
finest human beings I've ever had of the pleasure of knowing." And this picture of Tara Strong with just the two of them on the couch, and he's like laying with his head in her lap, and it's adorable. And
yeah.
it's
And
just, yeah,
then I did the stupid thing, and I think somebody else had posted about it, and they posted a cameo somebody got for them.
yeah.
So then I went and watched that, and then I was crying on the drive home. I think that's when I sent it to you. I was about to leave, and I was like, "Dude, I don't know if I've ever showed you this, but this is
No,
amazing."
I was floored.
Hey, Matthew. This is Batman. I'm calling you from Wayne Manor. It's a pretty amazing place. Anyway, Ryan tells me that you follow my work. Thank you. Thank you so much. And remember, I am vengeance. I am the night. I am Batman. Merry Christmas, Matthew. And Batman's got your back. I hope you and Ryan have a wonderful holiday. Take care.
I really I don't want to spend too much time harping on this because it's just a lot of emotion right now. But Kevin Conroy was my Batman, and he will always be my Batman. Um, Anytime any person who ever plays the Batman, be they live action, be they a voice in a cartoon or a video game, will always, to me, be judged against the voice of Kevin Conroy, because to me, he was Batman. And he is the standard and will always be the standard that any portrayal of Batman should be judged against, because no one else has truly encapsulated what it meant to be both Bruce Wayne and Batman, separate and together, the way Kevin Conroy did.
Yeah, and I'll even take it a step further in that, like, I know a lot of people want to say Michael Keaton's their Batman because he was the first live action Batman in film or whatever, but like that's not what this is. This isn't because he was the first voice. This is because he's the best.
Yeah.
Dude, the second place is far behind first in this race, and it's never
Yeah.
going to be overtaken ever.
Yeah.
I
I
mean, I love Dietrich Bader. He was fun.
so,
Bruce Greenwood. He's probably my number two ish,
hey, Bruce
depending on.
Greenwood doesn't get talked about enough. He was very
No,
good.
he's
He's
great in Young Justice. He was great in uh, Red Hood. He was Batman in Red Hood, right?
under the Red Hood. Yeah.
Yeah. So I always crack up because I remember Bruce Greenwood from Passenger 57 the first time I ever saw him. But anyway, so yeah, there's. It's not just this is who I grew up with. This is the guy who has done it to the nth degree. Not, I mean, he's given us minimum 3 different versions of Batman. He gave us Bruce Wayne, he gives us Batman, and then he gives us old Batman, and all 3 of them are completely different.
And then
You,
you throw in the mix where he voiced him in other animated movies, whether it was Justice League Doom, or Public Enemies, or you look at it in the video games and that version of Batman, or even his take on Bruce Wayne in the Crisis on Infinite Earths, where he really and truly did play an old man Bruce Wayne live action, albeit
yeah,
briefly. Uh, I remember when that got announced, and I think the internet may have crashed, because you talk
yeah,
about something that's like when nerds reading the news that Kevin Conroy is going to play a live action old man Bruce Wayne. Um, I- Words cannot describe the
yeah.
elation that we felt that
The
day.
Kingdom Come version, no less.
Oh man, yeah,
Yeah. No, I think one of my favorite role stories about him, because I watch. I don't. I think you are near me in this, but I watch every single behind the scenes thing on
yeah.
any DVD I get. or anything.
every chance I get. Yeah.
And there was one, I don't remember which of the movies it was. I don't know if it was Public Enemies or something where it was like they did that dinner for five thing, but it's I want to say it's Paul Dini, Bruce Timm, Andrea Romano, and Kevin Conroy.
Mhm.
I don't think it was Paul Dini, but I can't remember who the fourth person was. And they're all just talking about the casting of him and the animation and what they would do different, da da da. And someone says like, ask Kevin, like, what have you not done that you would love to do? And he goes, you know what would be different? Is I would love to play Superman. And Bruce Tim is like, oh my gosh, yes, of course. No, that's a great idea. And the reason I bring this up is because then you fast forward to Batman Brave and the Bold. And he does a couple different
Oh,
characters in
yeah.
there. And he does, oh man, I'm going to mess up the name. The Batman of
The
the
Zur and
Ra.
Ra Batman. Yeah.
Yes. And in that world, his alter ego is kind of like Clark Kent.
Yeah.
And he does the bumbling thing and this thing and this thing. And I'm like, they got him to do it. I don't know if Bruce Timm had anything to do with it, but they got him to do. He got to do his as close to Superman as he's ever going to get. Because in that storyline, he's with Lois Lane or I can't remember what she's
Whatever her
called.
name is. Yeah.
Luxor, this, whatever Lex Luthor's like. So it was just like
Yeah.
so one of those moments of like, this is fantastic. He got to do it. He wanted to be Superman. They're letting him be Superman, albeit kind of a fringe edge version. But I just thought that was fantastic.
Yeah. Um,
And
we're
of
gonna
course
miss him.
he did it awesome.
It was great. Yeah, it was fantastic. He's done so many voices for Batman in so many different ways, and yeah, I don't know what else we can say other than just there's never going to be another one like him. And to echo what we put up on Twitter, our hearts break for Kevin's husband, his family, his friends, his loved ones. Um, as much as sad and brokenhearted as we are, can't even imagine what they're all going through. And so we send all the love in the world to them and to anyone who knew him. And
And all
we're
you
gonna miss
fans
Kevin
out there,
Conroy.
that are struggling with this, and I'll say this: he played a great he played a great hero. He was a great man. Take that grief, take what you're feeling, and use that to be better. As
Yeah.
Bruce Greenwood said, I dare you to do better. Be the hero you felt like he was to you, to those around you, whether it's in action, whether it's through kindness, whether it's through your writing, whatever it is you do it the best you could do it at. And just kind of think that that's what this man did and that's what he represents. And we can just honor him by doing that.
And it's the weekend, so just go on HBO Max, watch Batman the animated series on a loop, watch Batman Mask of the Phantasm, play the Arkham games, just live in the art and the worlds that he created as Batman. Like I'm gonna do. That's all I'm gonna do this weekend. So
Same.
yeah,
We're
enjoy it
watching
all.
Justice League marathon this weekend.
Yeah. Enjoy it all because he gave us a lot to enjoy. Nothing else we can really say at this point. Thank you guys for indulging us who've listened, and just continue celebrating the years of entertainment that Kevin gave us, because that's what we're going to do.
Indeed.
Until next time, guys, thank you so much, and we'll see you next time on We Are the Batman, same bat time, same bat podcast channel.
Bye-bye.
Am I blue? Am I blue? Ain't these tears in my eyes telling you? Am I blue? You'd be too If each plan that you made done fell through, was a time I was her only one.